Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're going to learn about operations with complex numbers, and this is a critical thinking question. So, if I was given this problem, and they ask us here, how are the following problems different? So how are the following problems different? Well, they give us these two. They simplify, so I'm going to write this one time, simplify. And they give us these two, so I'm going to write them next to each other here. 2 plus x times 3 minus 2x. And the second one is 2 plus I times 3 minus 2i. And what you can see is basically they're essentially the same, except one has the variable x and one has the imaginary number I. So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify each one of these individually so we can determine what is the difference, all right? Or if they are different. So let's just distribute here. 2 times 3 is a 6, and 2 times a minus 2x is a minus 4x. X times 3 is a 3x, and x times a minus 2x is a minus 2x squared. So we can simplify this. Well, 6 minus 4x plus 3x minus 2x squared, we have to combine our like terms, which is just the minus 4x and 3x. So we have 6 here minus, okay, well 4x and negative 4x and 3x is just 1x, and we're subtracting it, or minus 1x, so we have minus x minus 2x squared. Okay, now we can rewrite this and put the x squared first. We don't really need to right now to really do our comparison. We can see if they're any different. Let's distribute this one. 2 times 3 is a 6, and 2 times a minus 2i is a minus 4i. I times 3 is a positive 3i, and I times a minus 2i is a minus 2i squared. So far, nothing is different with these two. Let's simplify a little bit more here. We have 6 minus, now we combine the 4i, a minus 4i, and 3i to be a minus 1i. But here gets the tricky part. The I squared we know is a negative 1. So we have a negative 2 times a negative 1. Okay? Well, that's where it starts getting different here. Well, the minus 2 times a negative 1 is really a positive 2. So we have 6 minus I plus 2 going on here. We combine the 6 and the 2 to come out to be an 8, so we have an 8 minus I. So we can clearly see that this answer, when we simplify, and this one are completely different. This one, we didn't do anything with the x squared, we had to leave it as such, but this one, that I squared really caused an issue. I squared simplified to be negative 1, and then that distributed to the minus 2 to make it a positive 2, and then we brought that with a 6. So now we have 8 minus I here, and this one involved a few more steps, or really one more step, if you will, but it depends on who you're asking, really. So let's recap. We had to determine how these following problems are different. Well, we simplified each one. We had this one, and they're basically the same. 2 plus x times 3 minus 2x, and 2 plus I times 3 minus 2i. This one has a variable x, and this one has the imaginary number I. When we simplified it, this first step, they were exactly the same. But once we got to the next step, I squared became a negative 1. This one here, we still combined the minus 4x and 3x to be minus x. Same thing with the i's here. But that was the key, that I squared becoming a negative 1. That's where it became different. And that's really where these two types of problems differ. We simplified, and on the left got 6 minus x minus 2x squared, and on the right 8 minus I. And really that's where they're going to differ. Whenever you see that I squared happening, that's when these two types of problems will become different.